Good evening, everyone. This is the Select Board Water Commissioner meeting for July 26, 2021. I'll read the agenda for tonight. Under new business, we need to sign warrants, approve meeting minutes, Christy Lynch about grants, David and Jerry Roulette would like to name a drive that's going to be, is that the new one they're going to be putting
They're
in?
subdividing down there and they're gonna be
Yeah.
using,
So they're gonna have to put in a different cap off the, what's the name of that road down the Bergeron Road?
Bergeron.
Homer Durkee might pop in and see us. Under old business, firearm ordinance. Is there anything else that needs to be added to the agenda for tonight?
Is there any news or anything from our attorney or anything? No, good. Nope, I'm good.
Okay. We'll get started and I guess, so Dave and Jerry, they are putting, it's a private drive going
Yes,
in off of the Bergeron Road and they'd like to name it. Now that goes to, that goes to who? The listers? Or
I think
the-
it's gonna go to 911, we have,
Okay,
you have
we
to
have
approve
to-
it and they, then
You do
we'll-
the 911 paperwork stuff?
Nope, Mike is doing that. Mike
Okay.
Johnston is zoning.
Yep. So I guess if
Yeah.
anybody has any objections to the name on that. It's Jason Lane?
Jason Lane.
Okay. There isn't already a Jason Lane in town, so I guess we'll, yeah, we'll just name it. What's the Christy Lynch grants here? Is this paperwork here?
Did I put it in there? About playgrounds?
These are grants that are out there.
She sent us back the menu.
Yeah, there was
Grants
like,
available.
when did you send that email? Wednesday, Thursday?
3-4 days ago. Sent it to all of our Sheldon town accounts. Has the menu in there. It's kind of like a interactive Excel. You can click on the tabs and it shows you what's available. But a lot of them more seem to be like rolling deadlines. But specifically, you know, I asked her about the playground one since we had Sheldon School had contacted us about their areas that shared. And basically she just wanted us to take a look and let her know what we wanted to pursue, if anything. So that she could write up the proposals and whatnot, just basically needs us to look her over and let her know what she wants.
And the school provided us with a list of what
Yep.
things cost, right?
They did like a wish list,
Yeah,
which didn't cover the basketball court. Like in conversation with them afterwards, they didn't have resurfacing that court or new hoops or anything like that on it. So once that was brought up, they were interested in the basketball court. I just don't think they were thinking that big. They were kind of doing like tennis court nets and things like that. But
yeah, some of them were small. I looked through them briefly, quickly.
there's a couple good size.
Yeah, there's a couple of really good sized ones, and then there's some that are like, I
Yeah.
can see why they're good because it's a larger pool it's pulling from, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Is there, ones in there you want to pursue or?
This is a part of them, I
I didn't get that rolling one.
think. You didn't get the roll, okay.
You didn't get the one that's rolling. Sort of.
There was like 8 different tabs or something like
Yeah,
that on there.
the document had, it was like, you know, interactive.
There's a Home Depot one, there was a Christopher Reeves one, there was a other, I just remember it being, it was like 6 of them. I guess I'd like to look at what their wish list was again, and then look at them side by side to be able to go, okay.
Did we
This-
have, I didn't get a wish list either.
That was a while ago.
That was one of those that should have been, let me double check, I'm pretty sure. I
That was like a while,
forwarded
that
it.
was,
That was the, Ford Nokia. That was
Oh, yeah.
June 14th, I got the email,
June 14th.
and I forwarded it on the 14th.
Okay.
And that has their,
sit down, look at their wish list, look at what
yep,
what all the grants are, and then compare them. Apple, this one's way more than,
Yeah.
this one's a minimum 5,000, they're only looking at like $3,000, no reason to look at the grant, so. What if we go,
Something you two wanna do? And then
yep,
yep.
we'll put it back to the
Yep.
board with your
And that one can
findings of
include
what
the
you think we should
pavement
pursue.
down that Joe was talking about down.
yep.
Alright, we'll leave it to you guys. then.
Okay,
Can, narrow it down anyways, and then report back to
Yep.
us, and let's all get going on this stuff, and see if anybody comes in. I'll read the meeting minutes from previous meetings, I've got 3 of them here. So I got, Select Board Water Commissioner meeting minutes from July 12th of 2021. We met at 7:30 here, present was Stephen Dodd, Joseph Dunleavy, David Blewett, Nick Norris, Kim Dufresne, Vermont State Trooper Jordan Peterson, Carrie and Forrest Cattell Mitchell, and Homer and Ruth Durkee. I opened the meeting at 7:30 and read the agenda. The board asked the State Police Trooper Jordan to speak about discharging of firearms in residential areas. He spoke about 2 state ordinances, reckless and endangerment, and noise in the nighttime ordinances. Trooper Peterson's recommendation was to call 911, and either the state police or Franklin County Sheriff's Office would follow up on the complaint. Homer and Ruth Durkee came in, had a question about the land on Four Farm Road that they had purchased from a tax sale. They stated they did not have a legal right of way to enter the land. He asked if the town would make a right of way through the Sheldon School for us, and I was gonna check with the town attorney on that. We signed warrants 2127 and 2129. Gristmill Park, the board discussed seal coating the basketball court. We decided the court needed more repairs and we'll get a quote to repave the court. I read the meeting minutes from June 28th meeting. Joe motioned to accept as read, seconded by Nick, and all in favor. Board approved Opportunities Credit Counseling to use the boardroom for a 1-day opportunity for Sheldon residents to stop in and speak confidentially with a Opportunity Credit Union financial educator about their personal budget, credit, and other financial concerns. Joe made a motion to accept Franklin County Sheriff contract for 21-22, seconded by David, and all in favor. 8:45, Joe made a motion to go into executive session, seconded by Nick. At 9:30, Joe made a motion to exit executive session, seconded by Nick. We discussed the Cisco Hydro. 9:30, Nick motion to adjourn, seconded by David, and we adjourn the meeting. Take a motion to accept these minutes as read.
Make a motion.
In a second.
Yep, that's okay.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. There's the first one. And then we got meeting minutes from July 15th, 2021.
I can't find that.
Present was Stephen Dodd, Joseph Dunleavy, David Plubitt, Nick Norris, Seth Hungerford, Kim Dufresne, and our town attorney, Robert Fletcher. I opened the meeting at 7:35 and read the agenda. Nick motioned to go into executive session to discuss the hydro appeal, seconded by David, and all in favor. And at about 9 o'clock, Seth motioned to exit executive session, seconded by Joe, and all in favor. We discussed with the town attorney the PVR decision, and board will meet again on Monday, July 19th of 2021. 9 o'clock, Seth motion to adjourn, seconded by David, and all in favor. Meeting adjourned. Take a motion to accept these minutes as read.
I'll make a motion.
Alright,
I'll second it.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
One more.
You're doing good.
Select Board Water Commissioner meeting minutes from July 19th at 7:30 here at the town office. Present was Stephen Dodd, Joseph Dunleavy, David Plubitt, Nick Norris, Seth Hungerford, Kim Dufresne, Greg Stebbins, Robert Norris, and Brian Savage, state representatives. 7:30, I opened the meeting. The board discussed with the state reps that there needs to be change in having the state level on how hydro plants are assessed. Every 3 years, the taxpayer could appeal the value of their assessment, and the town has the expense of upholding the value. At 8:30, Seth motioned to go into executive session to discuss the hydro tax appeal, seconded by David, and all in favor. 9 o'clock, motion was made to exit executive session, and the board agreed to appeal the PVR decision on the Missisquoi hydro tax appeal. The clerk will contact Robert Fletcher, the town attorney, with the decision. And 9:01, the meeting adjourned. Take a motion to accept these minutes.
Question on that. Oh, sorry, guys.
Yep. What do you got?
Two things. Jamie's missing on this one,
Oh,
and Jamie's missing on that one.
Okay.
Just,
Mister.
I still approve it, just we're missing Jamie.
Okay.
And we're missing Jamie.
Just add it in.
Do we need, and my question is because we took a vote, do we need to actually indicate how the vote was either unanimous or how, in case somebody wants to know how, it says that we decided on it, but do we need
The
to,
board agreed to appeal the decision.
because we took a vote.
The board unanimously agreed to appeal the decision.
I'm more or less asking, do like, you sure, but it doesn't mean we
Would
have.
you like that wording better?
I guess, I was just asking.
Okay.
Steve, you're doing all the experience here, you know, do we have to record the vote the same way?
We voted in executive session, but
Okay.
the board, it was unanimous.
Mhm.
5 in favor.
You can type that. Put in Jamie's name. All right, so do I get a motion to accept these with the changes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right, so that's. We have a letter here written to the principal of the town, of the Sheldon School, to give them a heads up about what we got going on.
Oh, this was to Christie, a different Christie, but
Yeah, who's this to who? It's not the
Christie
principal?
Wright,
She is,
PVR.
okay. So,
But we can address it to everyone. this
I
is, we
think we
just
need
started.
we need to get the school or school board up to date on what we got going on, just so they
Should
get a
we-
heads up.
Should we invite Morgan? Cause he's the finance guy for the school district. Or should we invite, I mean, how?
Yeah, well, that's what I don't know who we need to give the heads up to, but.
Should we start with our school board first and
Do we
then
start
go,
with the local
or?
level, or do we just go right to the district, or? how do you think we should handle this? But I think they need to know something's brewing here and that they might be responsible for a good portion of this.
I think it's gonna be both, because I think the school board's just gonna kick it to them to the next meeting and then them to, so I would say, my thoughts is our school board and
Okay.
Morgan from the district.
Do you have a contact for him?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that something besides just the finance, we want the head of the SU, who's gonna be ultimately taking, so we have our reps, and then we have the finance for the larger district, but I don't know if that's something you actually want
It's
to,
gonna affect the whole district.
if you want the actual
No,
head of
The superintendent.
Yeah. to
That'd be a
aware of
question,
what's
that'd be a
coming.
question when you
School
contact,
board and Lynn Coda.
yeah. You can ask Morgan when you contact him, be like, this is what we have, and is it something that you feel that, I mean, he's gonna have a better,
I don't know.
he may not either, he may go, I'm gonna punt to her and bring her with me, you know, so I,
Yeah, but I just think they need to start hearing about this.
so I think it needs to be both, because our school board, so they are aware to, when they're approached on it, they have a understanding, but the SU should be, the sooner we get the word going, they
I
can
was
maybe
just
talk to
under
them.
the assumption that that was Christie
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
school, but it's not. Okay. But
But we
I
could send
think
it to her.
reading this, you could probably send this same letter to them and, you know,
Mhm.
get their wheels turning too, you know, because they're the ones that get the education portion, you know, or the state does, or whatever, but the district or whatever. So, yeah, have you guys read this letter?
I just did.
Do you approve of it being sent out? The way it's written, or do you wanna look at it closer and this is something that Kim drafted up?
Fine with it.
I can forward it to Robert Fletcher too and see, to get his input.
Okay. I think it covers enough to know that something's
It's gonna
going
spark their
on,
interest.
so, Yeah, and that's what, we gotta start the conversation somewhere
Mhm.
and figure out, you know, cause we don't know exactly what's what or who's who and, but we do need to get some wheels turning here. So, yeah, I think you can ask Mr. Fletcher if this is good or if he's got other input that needs to be put into a letter and start passing it out, I guess, or making some contacts and let them know what's going on. Couple job applications, we could, look executive session at the end of the meeting and look those over and discuss them.
Okay.
Looks like it's gonna be a fairly quick meeting here anyways. We'll put that on the agenda.
Would the hydrant repair, would that come out of the water fund? Like Scott's digging on the fire hydrant? Would
We
that come out of
didn't
the-
know where that was coming from.
I'm
And
just
we put it in
curious.
water, but we didn't know where to, I can move it, but we put it in water, but we didn't, after we thought about it, like, is that really a water
Should it be
repair?
water or be fire department?
I don't know if it should be
It's,
fire or general fund.
yeah,
I don't know if it's really a water expense though, because it's not drinking.
No, cause it
Yeah.
isn't hooked to the drinking water line, that's,
We only did it because Hubert's the one that signed off on all our bills and we're like,
Yeah.
But then we thought like, is it really a water expense? There's a hydrant too, so
is
all of
that
that would
just
be
a
general.
fund, or?
They're just trying to see if they had a
Fire
spot there,
department.
they had a spot, see if they had a spot in the fire department that threw into there.
The fire department requested though, right, for that to be repaired,
Well,
but then it's.
no, it was leaking, so it wasn't really, but they did, yeah, the leak was down there, but the hydrant was also in bad shape, so they figured, well, they had it dug up, and we had to put a new one in, or should put a new one in, and
Has the town at some point assumed that line too, the Mills hydrant line?
yeah, I don't believe so. I mean, we do, cause they paid for the maintenance to fix the leak.
Hmm.
But we said, well, it's dug up, we should just throw a new hydrant in there.
Yeah.
Because there's only one other hydrant that, because they changed the one over on the other side of 105. That was last year, the year before. Hubert and Seth and Gianni did that one, so it stopped that day when they were doing it. So there's only one other one right across from the post office there. That's, boy, I don't know if we could use that one, looking at it. I just looked at it the other day and I said, what? It's, I don't know if they ever try to use that or not, but,
I'm not sure if they,
How much is it for?
the excavation bill was 2,500,
I think
And
it's almost better to go in general than, you could split hairs. You
the
could-
hydrant itself must have been what? Well,
That's where you're in that.
I mean, that should go probably fire department. The rest of it could go to general or that, no, I could go both ways. I mean, not really a line for either of them, you know. You know, to build the,
Fire department repairs or something.
they have room in their truck repairs.
Yeah, that's not a truck.
No, I know, and they have room in their supplies.
Yeah, we might just go over budget on something, but we
Yeah.
gotta put it somewhere where it belongs. We can't just,
Yeah,
can't stick it.
then
Somewhere.
you could put, would that be small equipment repair? Cause they have a spot there. That is equipment, right?
Yep. I would say so.
Yeah, that's, I say move it to there.
Did they have?
10-735-41, small equipment.
Did they have something, because it's such a large amount, what were they buying?
Well, they've only, at this point, only spent 16. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
does it mean they're not gonna spend it though? But if that's where it goes, that's where it goes, and just be overspent.
I mean, that's
on
a-
one line.
or we put it under miscellaneous,
Yeah.
cause there's nothing else that really,
Local equipment purchase,
it's not building repairs. Unless we made a line out of it and called it line repairs,
Be good. Hydrant?
hydrant repair, or, I mean, utilities is not really,
no.
unless you made a new line item.
Okay.
Do we have a miscellaneous in the general fund?
You do?
I think it could be in the fire department.
Yeah, I think it's a fire department thing, so.
I mean,
And if it, if their budget goes over, well, it goes over because we had to change our hydrant, so it's not. Not the end of the world.
and we either put it on, in that small repairs, or we make a new line item.
I can move it,
What?
put it to hydrant repair.
Make a line item for hydrant repair, probably the best way.
Or just put it down under the fire department miscellaneous and label it fire hydrant repair, something. We got dry hydrant stuff, but.
Yeah, nothing for,
Or make a line item.
Yeah, I'll make a
Whatever,
line
so-
item and.
line item, so then the people know what it
Then we'll
is.
know what it is. When we look back, say, hey, they want the budget.
Why did you?
That's all right. On this, old business, the firearm ordinance, what's you guys' thoughts on that after speaking with the state trooper that night? I don't see it's worth pursuing myself, but there should be things that the state or sheriff department can do for that, help these people out. I think we're gonna get open a nasty can of worms. We start getting too many ordinances and, you know, because we don't have anybody to enforce the ordinance.
Full time.
We don't have a constable, we don't have a full-time police department, we don't have the sheriffs on staff full-time. So, you know, the best way for our citizens to handle this, I think, is like the state trooper said, call 911 and whoever's on duty will come look into it. And I guess if people aren't happy with the response they're getting, we have contact with the barracks commander at the state police, and we have contact with our local sheriff, and so we can just voice our concerns that people aren't getting their needs met there on this. But as far as stepping in and, you know, I don't know, I just don't see how you would enforce it. Or, you know, we talked about, you know, if people had a safe place to shoot, but they were, you know, who's gonna go check that out? Who's gonna be liable to do that, say that, and then something happens, you know? Yeah, they told me I could do it, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts on it, but that's mine. But I think we're better off to let the local officials handle it.
I'm in the same boat as you at this point. We just don't have the money or time to, or people to be able to enforce something like that.
Right.
And I think we'd be doing,
You know,
no,
we're-
not saying doing more harm, but
well,
more
I
confusion
don't think
possibly.
I don't think we do the citizens any service by having an ordinance like this. My thought, because how do you enforce it, you know? And then, you know,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't add anything that the laws don't already take care of. There's
Yeah.
tools at their disposal. Call 911 and, you know, there's lots of the time of day that they're firing guns, there's kind of the sound, or if it's near people, or, you know, so there's things people can do
yeah.
that's just not gonna take care of, so I agree.
I agree.
Alright, so we will take that off our business agenda for now. Do you have a contact number for Homer Durkee that I can get on?
No, I don't. He said he was gonna stop in, but
Best place to find him is he hanging around at the store now?
I haven't
No.
seen it in the store.
I think he's at home.
Most of them.
How,
Go down there, I guess. That'll be a show,
how much, when's the backhoe paid off again?
Is that the book up here? I think it's next year.
Same with the truck too?
Short-term notes payable. Backhoe. Two more, have you made one this year on backhoe? Later?
Yes, Backo just had one made, I think he has one more after
So there's
this.
one more though. If that one's been.
So we
And
paid
then-
32,200.
And then we've got,
18.
the 18
It's-
truck.
The same.
There's two more on there.
We
this
just
one?
made one.
So that's all we have left, and that's what we paid this year?
Yeah, 72 is the thing on it. So the,
Yeah, we'll have this one,
oh, you just paid another one on that, the truck too?
Mhm.
You paid it, okay, so there's one more on that one.
So that was paid off then? We're
No,
pretty
they
close.
both got one more, don't they?
Because this one's only 16,000.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's one more on each of the two that we bought in 2018. So then we've got
Then we get the big one.
the big one, the newest one. Seth called me the other day, he wants to take a week off in August. He said they're making sand up there at the pit right now. And so he will have Jim haul sand the week that he's gone. He's thinking he's only gonna need 800 or less yards of sand this year because the pile's so big. He said he probably doesn't need any to get away with it, but he'd like to have some reserve. And I said, yeah, you better have some. You don't want to be hauling it in the winter. So anyways, he's gonna have Jim get started on that. You know, I don't remember if it was the first week in August or the second week, do you know?
First.
It's the first week in August, and I said that was fine. He said they went through and shouldered the new roads, worked on everybody's driveways and stuff, and he thought that was looking real good. And asked if we were happy with the paving job. What else did he speak about? Oh, he hadn't got any numbers together on the truck repairs yet. He was gonna he had to bring the new truck down because there was a light coming on or something. Every once in a while, he said the light would come on and all the gauges would go to nothing. And then he said 30 seconds later, it'd come back up. So he was gonna have that checked. But other than that, he said it happens like sometimes once a day, sometimes twice. But he should be all under warranty, so he was gonna bring that down to have it checked. That's that.
Do those two new tandems, do they have the bumper-to-bumper warranties on them? I think you could order them with like a 7-year bumper-to-bumper maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember what we got for warranty with that.
I think they were warranted.
We probably did after we got that lemon truck there.
Yeah, and that's, I was just curious, we used to take them to Clark's for their inspections, because like the brake cans and all that stuff was covered under, but I don't know if they are anymore.
Maybe a question we have to ask.
I know that
We'd have to look and see.
the last two trucks, they put the computer stuff in it so that they could read it right from,
Okay,
yeah, so they can keep track of what's
Yep,
going
so
on
it's-
with them.
must be the Navistar.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think that's what it was, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, look at those.
I didn't look at this one. Go ahead. What else is there?
Well, I guess we've covered everything. I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion.
I'll second that.
All right, we will go into executive session and we